Hi class, my name is Klaus. So today's like the last day of our winter course. I'm excited. I hope you guys are too, except for the snow. That's gonna be a pain in the ass. I guess this is my video for video presentation for the LAP, or technically LAVP Learning Analysis Video Presentation. Yeah. So over the course, it was interesting to hear like various opinions about several topics that we discussed over. Granted, a lot of you guys didn't really respond until like Sunday, which I couldn't really look over too many times. But those of you who actually responded the same day or the day after, I was able to look through your comments. It was very interesting about what you thought about what I was saying, or your perspective per take on certain topics. Downside, I guess, was that a lot of these topics sometimes were like very set in stone. When I say set in stone, I mean like we all had like the same idea about it, which kind of was cool. At the same time, I was hoping somebody would like throw a curveball and throw a different opinion that nobody else said, but that really didn't happen unless it happened on later days. I liked our topic of social location that we've developed over the whole 3 weeks of our class. At first, a lot of us probably were not sure what social location was. It sounded like, your location, or it wasn't clear on what it was until we actually read the article and, learned it by, doing social identity matrix and, discuss about it, write paper about it, the dreadful 8 pages long paper. Yeah. So social location was interesting because it allowed me personally to look at a different aspect of myself, like who am I kind of deal, like how do I know I'm a male? Not just like talking about sex wise, like having a lack of male genitalia or not, but like how do I define myself as male, and what kind of racial groups I belong to, ethnic groups I belong to, religious groups I belong to, and etc. It was interesting to learn that, and also to read Harold's article about like social identity being formed in a cycle. I kind of liked it, but at the same time I had to disagree with it because of the fact that it doesn't apply to everyone. I feel like it was overgeneralized towards the general public. And granted, yeah, you can't really sum it up for everyone and successfully, satisfy everyone. But it was just like, I feel like he overgeneralized it too much. It's just like the 5 stages of grief, where I feel like it's also not applicable to everyone because not everyone goes through that stages. Just like that, all Harold's stages of the cycles were not applicable for everyone, especially me. I thought I couldn't fit on like the 3rd and the 4th cycle. Another article that I really liked was Brown's Gamboyaya. Kind of gave us the aspect of how like everything comes into various information. Like there's multiple voices being heard, and they come into one beautiful harmony of a music that everyone would like. In her case, she wrote it as jazz, because that's like various instruments coming together. It was really cool because it pointed out that everyone needs to recognize there not only the differences but also the relational nature of those differences. Like there's also meaning like there's multiple layers of everyone, not just the outer layer that's visible through physical form that a lot of people would do, judging by the book by its cover kind of deal. Because she's trying to explain the definition that can define a woman. All women do not have the same gender, which at first, at that time, I think it was like week 1 we were reading this, it wasn't clear necessarily of what they were talking about until later on. I think like week 2 or 3 we talked about like various genders. Like in the 16th century, the white women were seen as like the method of reproduction children, which was equivalent to more workforces in the family farm in the north. South was seen as like the black women as doing the same thing but more severely severely treated, and how the children's were seen as the labor tools free for them without having to buy slaves, since like slavery, international slave trade was banned in 1808. But like it was because the laws back then permitted the master to rightfully own the child until they turned 18, so it was more like free labor forces. So overall, like it was talking about, and then also the Mexicanas, the Chinese women, and Native American women. Like there's multiple things that truly define what a woman and and they don't really have all the same gender. So it kind of gave a really good insight to that item, to that topic over the winter course. I also like the gender roles in week two discussions, especially like how Social Security. Like I didn't know that part. Like where women were severely screwed over because like government is structured towards to favor men. Well, I guess technically I knew that part, but like the fact that they're only paid like 2/3 of what men will make, and the men are favored to work get hired more because they're available for laborers and hardworking jobs. Well, I don't want to say hardworking jobs, but like hard forced labors, where women were not accepted because they're like seen as more like reproductive kind of deal, and they're already challenging each other, fighting against other women, competing for the jobs because they also have to deal with like childcare, stuff at home, like houseworks and stuff. So it kind of gave that insight that I really kind of like put it past my mind because I wasn't really thinking about it. Social Security, like I know I should because I'm going to be an adult, but like I just kind of like didn't think about it, and it just like it hit me pretty hard because I was just like, wow. So that means, and then especially the topic where like women when they're divorced, they lose their like benefits they would have gotten with the previous husband until they would keep it until they get remarried. And they'll lose it when they get remarried, and the divorced women also get screwed over because they're so dependent on the male's income, because it's the government and the structure, everything is structured towards to favor the men and dependent on the men. So it kind of screwed over them. And also the major thing that I was emotionally impacted by was the video clip that we watched about the toilet training. I thought that was really kind of like a heart-touching thing because I never really thought about it, but those people who are like transgender and who have who view their own genders different are socially screwed over by everyone because when they go to like let's just say someone who identifies themselves as female but physically they look like a male or are transgender, socially they're not accepted to go to the bathroom, so they don't feel safe to go in bathroom publicly, and like cops will arrest them, other people in the public will like dehumanize them, like verbally assault them and stuff. So it was kind of like an emotional thing for me. I thought it was very I kind of felt bad for them, like severely, like because I never think about those kind of challenges when I go to the bathroom. So it was kind of cool to understand that. And the last thing I wanted to get to touch about was the equality thing. We were talking about week 3, day 2, Tuesday reading and Thursday reading. Like gender equality hasn't reached its full potential yet, where like women are treated equal as men. And the thing is, a lot of people I've heard about who quote unquote call them strong feminists have this idea that they can become independent with no, I'm gonna rephrase it. They can earn the equality, gender equality, by just being independent without reliance of other men, with men, and also like men saying, oh, they're just talking nonsense or stuff like that. But both sides are yelling at each other for no reason. Like, if they want the gender equality to happen, both sides need to rely on each other. Like, women already have gotten to the potential. I mean, to the stage where they are by just relying on their independence. And throughout history, several women, strong independent women, getting to them that places. But until like the male population recognizes this equality and treat them equally, this gender equality will never like fully be achieved to their full potential, which is kind of a shame. I guess overall from this course, I learned like the struggles of women throughout history, and along with like what really is the gender equality that people seek for, and also the social location. It was great having class with you guys. I'm graduating, so I probably won't see you guys at all. But have a great year and the rest of your college life. Bye.